Good morning and welcome to Bayeux, France. And you are watching Around the World in 274 Days. First stop was the Cathedral of Our Lady of Bayeux, or as the French know it as Cathedral Notre Dame de Bayeux. Notre Dame means Our Lady. It's a Roman Catholic church. It's a national monument. It is the seat of the Bishop of Bayeux and was probably the original home of the Bayeux tapestries, which we saw, but since we couldn't take pictures of, I'm not including it here. The site is an ancient one and was once occupied by the Roman sanctuaries. The present cathedral was constructed on July of 1077 in the presence of William, Duke of Normandy. That's also William the Conqueror. It was on this site that William may have forced Harold Godwinson to take an oath of support to him, which he later broke and led to the Norman conquest of England. The cathedral itself is quite large and spacious, beautiful artwork and architecture. The music you are hearing is from their actual organ. I sat down for about 3 or 4 minutes and recorded one of their pieces during an organ recital they had there. This is the main square in Bayeux, and on June 7th or 8th, Charles de Gaulle came here and gave his speech declaring that he was setting up with him in charge as the Free French government. He was concerned that the Allies would split France up like they did Germany, and he would have none of that. De Gaulle had his problems and challenges and faults, but he definitely was not going to let this fall into after being occupied for 4 or 5 years by the Germans. He was not going to have it occupied by somebody else. So that's where the French government started, right there. And this is where the castle used to be, right in the middle. It was a castle, and then it was a church, and then it was a prison. And a few years before the French Revolution, they took it down. Not because it had been a prison or anything, but they took stones to build the city. So it actually was put to good use, which is good. This tree was planted in 1797. It's called the Freedom Tree. We are now in Caen, and this is the men's abbey. The men's abbey is a former Benedictine monastery in the city of Caen, Normandy, and is dedicated to Saint Stephen. It was founded in 1063 by William the Conqueror, and is one of the most important Romanistic buildings in Normandy. Because this is a monastery, or started out as one, it is very quiet and usually does not have a lot of music going. That watch or clock is really known as a watch because it does not ding, chime, or anything. It's just quiet like a watch. The men's abbey was started in conjunction with the ladies' abbey to the east, and it may have been a result of a reconciliation process of William, Duke of Normandy. He fell out of favor with the Pope when he married his cousin. When that Pope passed away, William was brought back into the church, and he built these two abbeys as part of his penance. When William the Conqueror, King of England, died, his body was brought back here to the abbey and is buried right there. This interesting house is known as the Adam and Eve house because of the wooden figures. The first one is a carving of the Archangel Gabriel. The second is of Adam. This is of the serpent. This is of Eve. And the last one depicts the stoning of Stephen. We are now in Honfleur, France. And it's a fun little village.
These were the ancient salt granaries. They were built 1670 under the order of Conqueror, who was the Ministry of Finance of King Louis XIV. The thing that happened is that salt was the only way of preserving food, and especially fish, on the long journey from where they were fished in the North Atlantic back to France. Each one of those salt granaries was able to hold about 10,000 tons of salt. They were stored on different layers, wooden layers, to make sure that air was flowing through the granary, through the building, to make sure that it will remain dry all the time.
This room, and there were 3 of them, will store a lot of salt. This is St. Catherine's Church, which is different from all other churches. It was started in the 15th century, and it is made out of wood for the most part. And the people that built this were shipbuilders. This church was built by the shipbuilders of this village, Honfleur, to celebrate their victory over the English during the 100-Year War. The wood is all original. This shot from of the roof inside looks just like the inside of a ship, so you can tell who really had some influence on the building of it. St. Catherine's Church was built by the famous axe masters of the naval yards in the city without using any saws, just like their Norman ancestors, who can be seen in action in the Bayeux tapestries. The beams used to create the pillars are of unequal length because there's no oak trees long enough to construct them uniformly. Some beams have footings of stone varying in height, some have no footings. Because the cathedral is made of wood, the bell tower was constructed a fair distance away from it. This was in case lightning hit the bell tower and started on fire, the church would not burn down. The town is a wonderful place to walk through. If you liked our video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel Around the World in 274 days. And be sure to hit the notification bell so you're notified every time we post a new video. Thanks for watching.